Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoteric, and we got a really fun episode for you guys this Friday. I'm calling it Games I Can't Find, because believe it or not, even my extensive collection of rare games and even rare hardware, there's still some things out there that I can't seem to locate. Before we get too far involved though, if you do me a huge favor, down below, hit like, subscribe, and that notification bell definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the Patreon channel, we got a link down there as well. And did I tell you, by the way, this week you're looking particularly handsome, and you're probably my favorite subscriber. I'm saying this because if you do find one of these games for me, I'd absolutely love you. Big thanks to a man named Phil Bennett though. He does a lot of MAME stuff. These are his captures. That's how I'm showing them to you. He owns 2 of the games that I'm going to be showing on the channel this week. He gave you permission to use them. I'm going to leave a link to his channel down below. He just basically posts content of stuff he's working on for MAME, but even if you never heard his name before, you may have very well played a game that he worked on via emulation. But the first game up is Fighting Bujitsu or Fighting Wu-Shu. This is another fighting game from Konami, a company that wasn't really known for fighting games, and if you've watched my channel at all, you know I love Konami 3D stuff with Battle Trist, but this is a game that I have been looking for over 2 years. It is incredibly rare because it came out on an incredibly rare piece of arcade hardware from Konami. It showed up, it didn't succeed, it left, and that's basically all anyone knows of it. If it wasn't for Phil's captures here, there'll only be a few crummy videos out of Japan on Nico Video. And I don't know if it's a good game, I don't know if it's a bad game. I know it's a rare game, and I know I love collecting rare Konami 3D arcade boards. So for me, this game is something I really want to end up in my collection, because 1, I want to play it, and 2, I want to preserve it for videos for everybody. I want to do full character playthroughs, showing off the entire game, reviewing it, talking about it, and making sure it doesn't end up languishing into obscurity. Because obviously I do love Konami 3D fighting games, and moving over right here, I've showed it on the channel before, Battle Trist. To me, Bujitsu looks like it's very similar to this game. Even some of the moves that I've seen in the Bujitsu video seem like they may have been lifted from Battle Trist, because both of these games came out in 1998. It's just unfortunate that Bujitsu didn't get much of a run whatsoever, because it looks graphically very impressive, and this was on Konami's nicest arcade board that they had working on at that time. It's just really unfortunate that the Konami Cobra boards didn't make much of an impact, because it makes the games quite rare, and I really want to check this one out. I'm super excited to bring it to you guys to talk about it, so if you can locate one for me, I am a buyer, so long as the price isn't a gouge. If I saw this in Japan, I would import it. I just have never seen a single one of these boards go up for sale in the time I've been looking to purchase them. And speaking of both Phil Bennett and rare and random Konami 3D games, we have Polynet Warriors. And if you know anything about my love for Tobe Polystars on the Konami 3DO M2 board, this to me seems like the spiritual predecessor to that game. This is one of the first 3D boards Konami ever put out, and you can clearly tell just by looking at it, it is quite primitive, but this game has everything that I want in a game, which is to say it's weirdly rare for Konami, it's colorful, it's got some janky looking polygons, and it's got a really fun soundtrack that I just kind of want to listen to. But again, I love bringing original captures of rare arcade boards to you guys. I love rare and obscure game consoles and games. And this is another one that I've just been trying to find for over 2 years now, and I have not seen a single one of them sell. Not in the US, not in Japan, not from other collectors. I've asked everyone I know if they have one for sale or if they know somebody who has one for sale, and it's been a no across the board. The last one of these that did sell like 26 months ago only went for like $180. It's not an expensive game, it's just a rare game, and that's the thing about rarity. It doesn't always mean that it's going to be expensive. Something like Tobe Polystars here is going to be expensive and it's going to be rare, but you can see those little triangular guys on the ground there waving their white flags. You're going to notice very quickly when we move back over to Polynet Warriors that a lot of the characters in Tobe Polystars are lifted directly from that game, because now we have those same angry polygonal triangles popping up. So of course, I love Tobe Polystars. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I want something that looks really similar to it. But again, it's just one of those games I can't find, and people seem to think that I must have everything. That is very, very quite not true. I don't have everything, and I don't have any better ability to find certain things than you guys do. So in your travels, if you ever see a copy of Polynet Warriors for sale, doesn't matter if it's in Europe, doesn't matter if it's in Japan, North America, anywhere, on the planet, maybe not Antarctica, I don't know how you get mail from there, I will 100% pick this game up because I want to do full reviews and gameplay captures for the channel because I just love random bad Konami 3D hardware. It's like my Achilles heel. I can't get enough of it. But moving on from something very colorful to something very different, this is Marine Philt. There was a company called Fairy Tail in Japan that made visual novel adventure games. A lot of their content is not for me per se, which is kind of to say it's all eroge hentai adventure games. But they did a series called the Nightmare Collection, that's Dead of the Brain 1 and 2 in Marine Philt. But you gotta hear this soundtrack, listen, because it's great. I'll be back in like 30 seconds, but this is a real hit. So yeah, obviously I'm showing you the capture of Marine Philt somehow, and that's because I'm emulating the PC98. And what works really well, don't ask me why, my personal rule is outside of unported playlist, all the games I show on the channel are on original hardware. And I really want to show an entire series on these interesting visual novels for the PC98, for the X68000, for the FM Town Smarty. Because Marine Philt looks absolutely amazing, and it's the genre of games that I kind of gravitate towards and really like talking about the art, the music, and kind of just what's going on with them. And I'm superimposing some screens now, but it looks like it's got some legit solid horror elements to it, and it's something that I want to bring to you guys. I missed an auction on this. It sold for $200 out of Yahoo Auction Japan. I was so mad, but previously on the channel I have talked about some of the other games in this series. This is The Man Called Dracula. It is an absolutely gorgeous looking, point and click visual novel adventure game. It's one of my favorite Japanese PC games in my collection. It's weird, it's strange, it makes no sense, but I just really like these. I know a lot of you guys do too. So if you see a copy of Marine Philt, send me a message, and again, as long as the price isn't a gouge, I am 100% down to buy this and bring it to the channel, because not only have I shown you guys this before, I've also shown you Dead of the Brain 1 and 2. It was the last game ever to come out on the PC Engine. I've had it in my collection for a while now, and while the PC98 or X68000 versions are visually better, the PC Engine version gives you full dialogue as far as voice lines are concerned, and maybe I'll do a full playthrough of this game at some point in time, because it has been translated into English for the PC98 version, which is awesome. But getting off horror and getting onto something completely more arcadey is Planet Harriers. I've been looking for a working copy of Planet Harriers for the longest time, and that's not to say that I haven't found any, I just haven't found any recently. I have purchased 2 Planet Harrier boards in my time, and both times they were shipped in by people who must have thought you could just put basically your computer in a cardboard box with a little bit of newspaper around it, and that should be fine. These boards are delicate. I don't even know if I'd be willing to buy another one shipped unless it was another collector who knew how to package them. But I am looking for one in the Midwest within driving distance, because I really want to talk about the Hikaru on the channel, and you can swap games between it. So if I get one working motherboard and ROM board, I'll be able to show the entire collection of Hikaru games. Granted, I'll have to mod some and get them working, because this is how I received my second Hikaru in a video I showed previously. Just a stack of PCBs in a box, saying, what the hell was the person thinking that shipped this to me? It never had any chance. Literally one of the GPUs was just completely popped off the board. So it's not that I can't find this game, it's that I can't find it by anybody selling it that I can trust, because you'll see it is definitely glitchy in emulation how I'm playing it now, and unfortunately in the later levels it just completely freezes and you can't finish it. So I've only ever played the first half of Planet Harriers ever. So if you know of a board for sale in the Midwest, or if you have one, or you know someone who does that knows how to ship arcade stuff correctly and has actually repaired these boards already, please do let me know, because I want to show it to you guys and do an entire Hikaru series. But yeah, these are the games I can't find. There's 4 of them, I can't find them. Maybe my luck's bad, I don't know what's going on, but it's things that I want to show on the channel. So if you ever see any of them for sale, send me an email, leave me a message, I'll pick them up and I will record the ever-loving hell out of them. Short of that, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like, subscribe, and that notification bell definitely helps us out. We'll be back on Sunday with another unported playlist and videos throughout the week, but bye-bye.